like to keep it mellow. I smoke and keep it mellow. I drink and keep it mellow. Every day I keep it mellow.
What's going on, everyone? So today we're going to be talking about a highly requested video, which is how do I study in medical school? Now, medical school is a completely different beast than any other type of education I've had previously, so I feel like the way I study for medicine is a little bit different than I've studied for classes in high school or classes in college. So I'm going to give you guys an insight on how I study in medical school and then give you guys some tips at the end on how you can improve your studying. So the main difference between medical school and undergrad or high school is that not every single class is required, and this is the case for most programs, but not all programs. So my school, they record most of their classes, so if you don't want to go, you don't have to go. And everything's up online, usually by the afternoon. Class will typically be from 8 to 12, and then all those lectures will be posted online around 1 or 3 p.m. So the main difference is creating your own schedule that works for you. And you don't necessarily have to abide by the strict schedule of being at class every single day from 8 to 12. So I'm going to show you guys what I do here on my computer. This is not the only way you can study. There are so many different ways you can study for medicine, but this is just the way that I've found to be the most productive, and this study method has given me the best grades so far. Alright, so here's what my screen typically looks like. I've showed this before, but I figured this will probably get more attention since this video is purely dedicated to studying. Anyways, so like I said, all of our lectures are recorded. So on my left hand side, I have the lecture here and then the PowerPoint presentation up here. And then on my right side of my screen, I have the PowerPoint presentation again, and sometimes they include notes that the speaker doesn't say, and they may be helpful, but typically whatever's on the main PowerPoint is what's tested. And then right below it, I have Google Docs open. The reason why I use Google Docs instead of Microsoft Word or Pages, whatever comes with Apple's products, is because it's so easy to share and have things across multiple devices that Google Docs really, I find, just works best for me. Whatever I type on here, I can open up my laptop, log into my Google account, and it'll be there. It'll be synced automatically. If I type up a really awesome study guide that I think can help a lot of people in my class, all I have to do is upload it to our class drive and everyone can have it. So it's just a really great platform to collaborate with other students and have all of your notes across all of your devices. What I will typically do is I will play the lecture usually at double speed or 1.6 speed, and I will play the lecture for one slide.
So this is just for comparison. So here's our myeloblast, here's our protoroid blast. So both big cells, high density ratio, kind of smooth chromatin, but notice the myeloblast has sort of this grayish blue cytoplasm, whereas the protoroid blast has a very, very deep blue cytoplasm. So the next phase.
So after that slide plays and she switches slides, I'll have that same slide up here. These aren't synced, by the way, so that's why they're different. But I'll have the same slide up here. I will write down everything that's important in my Google Doc, and if she did say anything, then I know exactly what she's talking about because I just listened to the slide, and I can add in whatever else I need to. Or if something doesn't make sense on here, I know the context in which she said it. The nice thing about this too is I can rewind it if I have to. I just watch it in double speed because it saves a lot of time, and this whole process of pausing after every single slide is really time consuming. This is actually just like taking notes in class, except that you don't have to listen and take notes at the same time. This way I can strictly listen to everything she says in one slide and then take notes on that right after, immediately after. So I know exactly what she says. If I don't understand something, I can rewind it and really understand what she's trying to say. I just feel like I've learned best by listening and then reading and writing, because sometimes if you just go over the PowerPoints, they'll just have one picture. You just don't know what they're trying to get at with that picture. So by listening to the lecture first, I'm able to know what points they're trying to make and what points they're really emphasizing for each exam, and that way I'm not kind of in the dark when I'm just reading through the PowerPoints and trying to take notes on the PowerPoints without listening to the lecture. But I've tried it where I've just listened to the lecture and then I went through the PowerPoints, but then I would typically forget kind of what points they were trying to make, or just forget the associations they were trying to make with certain pictures. I've also tried reading through the PowerPoints, taking notes, and then listening to the lectures, but like I said, with the slides that were purely pictures or the slides that had very little information on them, I didn't really know what they were trying to get at, and I didn't really know what was important. So I found that really taking your time, going through it slowly the very first time has been the most most beneficial for me. That's pretty much my study method for all of the lecture-based material in medicine. It is time consuming, but I feel like it's the best for retention and really understanding not just the material, but the main topics that the teachers are really trying to push and that are going to be highly tested on the exams. Because at the end of the day, you want to learn this material for your patients, but you also need to do really well in your exam. So that's how I go through all of my class material. As far as supplemental material, I use some of the resources that I posted in my last video. I will link in the description below. Other than that, some quick tips that I have for you guys for studying is, one, be really focused. Shut out everything else that you have. Put on some headphones if you need headphones in a quiet area. Just be 100% focused in your material. My second tip is eliminate all social media if possible. It's really hard for me because I'm so involved with social media, but I will actually take my phone and I'll throw it on the bed so that way if it vibrates, I can't hear it. If I get a notification, I can't see it pop up on my phone, and that just helps me focus way more. Sometimes if the material's really not that interesting, I'll just find myself checking my phone and not really absorbing what I'm listening to during the lecture. So my third tip is take notes in a way that will help you review for your exam. Basically, your notes are your study guides. Those are gonna be your key references for right before the exam, so make sure the notes are customized towards you. Make sure they're personalized, make sure they're written in your own words, and make sure they're written in a way that you really understand them. Because at the end of the day, the notes are for you. They're gonna be your main resources for doing well in the exam. My fourth tip is split your study time into big chunks or big blocks. You can't always be 100% focused for a really long amount of time. So what I actually try to do is I study for about 50 minutes or so, really focused, really intense, and then I'll take about a 10 to 15 minute break. So that way I stay fresh when I'm studying. When I come back from my break, I'm really focused on the material, and it's just better for you to get up and move around instead of sitting down for hours and hours. My fifth and final tip would be to play around with the way you study. Don't be confined to the traditional methods of studying. There is a lot of studies saying handwriting your notes is the best possible way to remember things, but I think actually my worst exam in my worst class in med school was when I was trying to handwrite everything. So just be open with the way that you study. Whether it's handwriting notes, that works really well for some people. I prefer typing my notes up, and I prefer reading over them after. I also know some people who don't take any notes at all. They just listen to the lectures over and over again. They'll typically listen to the lectures maybe 3 or 4 times, and they're auditory learners, so they absorb it all that way. I really recommend playing around with what works well for you and tweaking the way you study after every exam if you're not getting the grades that you want. Don't be afraid to try new things. If you guys want, try to type up your notes on Google Docs. I really like it. I find it very helpful. You can also copy and paste pictures from PowerPoints and create your own individualized study guide packets. Hopefully this video helped. Comment down below if you guys want to see more study tips. Let me know what you guys want to see. Hopefully you got an insight on how I study for medical school, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the vlog. Good morning, guys. Today's Thursday. Just got done with cardio, and I'm gonna bring you guys inside. Who's out there? This is what it looks like when you're studying for an anatomy final. Big mess everywhere with extreme focus. Sweaty. Quick update on school. I finished metabolism and nutrition, which is more of like biochem / endocrine class. And now I'm currently in blood, hematopoiesis, and lymphatics. This is our last class for the year. So we have 3 more weeks left. I'm already pretty much done with the first week of this class. 3 more weeks left in my first year of medical school. This class is supposed to be really hard, so hopefully it's not too bad. Right, P?
A little bit of terminology. Hemolysis means premature destruction of red cells before the 120 days normal lifespan. If it is bad enough that the marrow cannot compensate and the hemoglobin drops, we call that hemolytic anemia. However, the marrow has an ability to ramp up red cell production in response to need, and sometimes it can maintain the hemoglobin in the normal range. We call that compensated hemolysis.
There's a finished product: garlic powder, garlic salt, pepper, and roasted herb or rosemary, whatever that was. Here's what I'm having for lunch: 5 ounces of chicken breast, some broccoli, and 66 grams of sweet potato, mixed with 7 grams of coconut oil. Yep, it's a beautiful day. So, since it's so nice out, we're gonna go study outside. All right. Just finished studying, got a good amount of studying in. Laid out at the pool for a little bit, but I still had my computer out. I was typing notes and listening to the lectures. So on my way to the gym now. If you guys are watching this video the day it came out, Ghost just released 2 brand new products, a new protein flavor, which is peanut butter cereal milk, which is gonna be freaking awesome, guys, especially if you like peanut butter. And they're also releasing a fish oil. Now, what makes this fish oil really special is it's an enteric coated, which means that typically when you take normal fish oils, you burp up the oils, and honestly, it tastes like you're burping up sushi all day. But with this, you shouldn't get any of those burps, and it's really good because it has a complete panel of omega fatty acids, more than just omega-3s, has the proper dosing for the omega-3s, all really high quality fish oils. So go ahead and check that out at ghostlifestyle.com. I'm gonna be on my way to the gym, and hopefully there aren't a ton of people there, so I can get some good footage.
Hey, just ask Ivan if that works, and if it doesn't, then
Alright guys, it's the next day. Today is actually Friday. I had a quiz today, an ARS quiz. Sometimes we do these ARS clicker questions, which they'll post a question on a PowerPoint slide, and then we have to answer like A, B, C, or D through this, and then it records all of our responses. So I took that quiz today. I actually had to wake up at 6:30 this morning to really just feel ready for it. There's a ton of stuff the first week of class. We covered a ton of anemias, and that's what our quiz was over, like all the various types of anemias that people can have. I just want to show you guys all these books I have because this is going to be in my thumbnail. These are just books from old stuff. I don't use any books for med school when studying. The only book I use, like hard copy book, is this first aid book. All my other books or resources that I use are online. Yeah, this will be in my thumbnail, but just as a clarification, you don't use any hard books in med school, really. I mean, you have the option to buy the books, but you have so many books that you need to get that I just really don't recommend using hard books. Instead, this thing right here, my laptop, really just, I mean, this is how big it is. Super light. This can hold way more books than this right here on the table, so I really recommend just putting all your books on your laptop if you can. Just saves paper, saves space, makes your life way easier. So I just want to thank you guys again so much for watching. I have a ton of new subscribers, so thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for really enjoying my channel, enjoying the fitness and med school parts of this channel. Make sure you like the video or click the thumbs up button and share it to all your friends that you think it would be helpful for, and I will see you guys next time.